And it's been the most popular AD carry. It was rising last week before the changes, now even bigger with the changes in lethality coming through.
Exactly. It really is kind of the clear best AD carry right now, in my opinion. The big difference between it and Jhin, who also does very well with that lethality, is that Varus has a better laning phase. You can shove out faster, it's easier to poke out your opponents, and that is why you kind of have that advantage.
Well, not satisfied perhaps with the Jhin. Piglet going to take Ashe here, as that's Team Liquid's first pick. I was maybe thinking that if Team Liquid do want to go back to the style that maybe they, a little more comfortable with, get Piglet back on a big carry. Like, sure, you pick Twitch, you're probably going to get destroyed in lanes, especially depending on the support matchup, but that was a huge game that he managed to carry. So TL not going to change it up this time, but maybe keep that in mind for future, as I like this a lot as well. ReignOver is going to take Kha'Zix away from Akaadian.
Yeah, you just cannot allow Akaadian to play Kha'Zix. He has smashed every single game, it's felt like, that he gets it. And especially after the last game, you just do not want to give that over. The Ashe is actually kind of the queen of the bot lane as far as laning phase does go. Really, the three-pot longsword started because everyone was just losing lane to Ashe. That is where it originated in the LCK. The Varuses and the Jhins of the world started saying, hey, you know how I'm going to get through lane? Three-pot start.
Well, we've seen this already, but kind of surprising to see it maybe rise back up. Nidalee is actually the pick here for Echo Fox, taking it against that Kha'Zix. Another good duelist jungler. Tahm Kench again for Gate. Team Liquid now left with their last pick for this phase of the draft.
Yeah, Nidalee had been gone from competitive play for quite some time, had received a lot of nerfs, and been, as far as I know, the lowest win rate jungler in the game for quite a while. It is kind of creeping back up there. I believe it did get some recent buffs. I can't remember if that was 7-3 or before, though. But either way, it is kind of rising a little bit in priority. We saw Moon play it very well. Excited to see how Akaadian performs on it, too, because it's a very high skill cap champion. It can look really good when you're ahead, but when you're behind, you're kind of relegated to just throwing spears and healing.
Yeah, it does certainly suit the style of play that Akaadian showcased already. Lots of early aggression, can duel with the likes of the aggressive junglers, so that all makes sense to me, as GoldenGlue will take Corki again. Again, super safe blind pick mid laner, really strong champion. We'll see if he can get a bigger carry performance on this next game. TF ban from Liquid, Fiora ban from Echo Fox, target bans in mid and top lane respectively.
One thing worth pointing out here is the difference as far as mid laner versus support in first round. So you can try to pinch your opponent's champion pool there if you would like to. Also, Tahm Kench 2 times in a row. Seriously, it helps Keith. Keith gets caught a lot, and I mean, it did give them the flexibility not only to kind of save teammates quite frequently. Gate was just on fire on this champion. I think he did pretty much everything right, besides the bot lane taunt spam into triple kill for the other team. That one was, a little bit iffy, but everything else was great.
It's a classic true combo taunt to get bodied, as Jace the man from TL, Karma once again from Echo Fox, and now Team Liquid going to take their first pick for the next few. Echo Fox waiting on those solo laners. Piglet going to snap up. Arguably the best support that wasn't banned away is Zyra.
Yeah, Zyra, I mean, it's interesting seeing how highly they're prioritizing the Tahm Kench, right? Tahm Kench first round, when Zyra is open, that seems weird, right? But Zyra is open, and Liquid have to prove that they can actually get something done in the bot lane for once, or it doesn't matter, right? Sure, Tahm Kench shouldn't have as good of a laning phase. You can get poked out, you can get harassed, but unless TL can get a big CS advantage or something, we know how effective Gate can be on this champion moving around the map and in the team fight phase.
Well, speaking of globals, no Rise available this time, so we'll take the Shen for Looper. Strong tank, decent blind pick, and of course gives plenty of map mobility that Echo Fox did show off in the last game. Question now is, what's the pick for Froggen? It's open, he'll take it, it's Anivia.
There you go. So he's off the global presence of the champions. He's not on Rise, he's not on TF, but he is on Anivia, and he always finds ways to get picks on Anivia, which is the most impressive thing for me. Almost no one plays around Vision as well as Froggen does in the mid lane. So frequently you see him setting up these traps, waiting around walls with wards out in the middle and catching people with that wall into stun combo, creating picks and creating plays for his team.
I mean, we saw him with teleport Anivia in one game, and he managed to somehow flank with the Frozen Bird, which was quite impressive. Last week, Maokai here for Team Liquid, as Echo Fox did value the global ability of Shen rather than the huge teamfight tank presence of Maokai.
It does feel like priorities are starting to shift, at least among some teams, as we do get deeper and deeper into this patch. I mean, Maokai and Zyra going last round is something that would be completely unexpected, even a week or two ago, right? But now as these teams are learning picks and learning how to play against them better and better and better, they're seeing the value in some of the flexibility here. Shen and Anivia and the Nidalee were basically not seen at all in week 1, and really not in week 2 either, and it's kind of the same thing with Tahm Kench.
Yep, I like it here. Echo Fox changing up a few things, but I think keep the spirit of the Game 1 comp very much alive. TL almost a rollback, honestly. If they were trying to set up Lourlo with the Jace, they banned that away for themselves this time. They picked him another tank. This is kind of the combination of things that haven't worked out. So again, we look to GoldenGlue and Piglet. Yes, Lourlo, he could have a big tank game. Maybe ReignOver has a big Kha'Zix game, but you look at the carries that have been picked in this game, it's back to the same two people that couldn't quite get it done in the first game. We'll have to see them rise to the occasion if Team Liquid want to pick up a win here and force a third game.
Yeah, the guys on the desk talked a lot about how, even though it didn't work out last game, they didn't think it was the game plan. They felt it was the execution. They thought it was the kind of poor early game that happened, the disaster, that happened to Lourlo. But they're going to move away from it either way. And, ReignOver, he has been having some good games. Last game wasn't great. Kha'Zix is certainly the potential to carry a game on this champion. And although it hasn't really shown up on the NALCS stage for him, I know that he is absolutely tearing it up in solo queue as far as win rates and stuff, and he has fantastic statistics on almost all these carry junglers, so excited to see if he can perform.
Well, we'll have to see, because Team Liquid do need to win this one and try and force a third Echo Fox. Looking for a sweep here to continue the streak they seem to have been on ever since they shook off the nerves from week 1.
Exactly. Shook off those nerves, and they're looking great, and someone has to kind of come along and prove them wrong for that not to be the case. They are not playing the absolute best teams. They're not playing the C9 or whatever yet, but that is coming up. And they already took down FlyQuest, only team to beat them, so they beat top teams.
Certainly have, as we'll see the setup for the level 1. You have to think Team Liquid are on high alert after what happened in the first game. But just a couple of spears. I think it's actually trap levels. No, it is spear. So Akaadian was maybe looking for something. But looks like Froggen's going to back away, and Loop is going to go back towards his lane as well. Everyone just fanning out, making sure they don't face check too aggressively. Piglet, kind of standing in the wrong spot, but just some arrows traded back and forth. Matt going to have to get himself away. Gate's going to do some harass, and that'll get the Thunderlord's proc. So nothing much happening there at level 1.
The big thing there for Gate, he wanted to clear out the seeds, right? So Matt is trying to hang around and just build up this massive amount of seeds in lane. And Gate is actually now just stomped 4 or 5 of them, right? If you do leave that there, it gives you such an easy push with all those plants. You can get a very quick level 2. If anyone tries to attack into you, you're always going to be able to spawn those up. So it's just a smart little thing that you can do.
Yep, I like it there. Bit of optimization from Matt, as Leash actually here for ReignOver. Bottom lane going to be a little late to pushing that lane in, but ReignOver does get some strong assistance. Yeah, that's Smile's
like almost a suspiciously huge leash. As far as I'm expecting ReignOver to have some sort of path planned around the fact that he got this big of a leash, because he's not even smiting the Gromp. I'm interested to see if he does actually smite the Gromp here. He is getting invaded right now, so yeah, he didn't smite that either. So his plan was actually to meet Akaadian at his red with the smite, and perhaps even cheese him out. This could just be something where he's not positive that they're going to invade or not because they put the ward on their red buff. And Akaadian has already taken 2 buffs, but ReignOver will at least get this.
Yeah, I mean, this is nice, kind of odd to see blind vertical jungling. Both junglers seems like they had a plan, but they also clear very quickly. That's one thing Nidalee is really known for, is ripping through the jungle. So Akaadian had his plan, but it's just going to be a trade of buffs here. As Froggen going to eat the early poke there from GoldenGlue.
ReignOver still hasn't smited. Unless our UI is actually bugged here. I'm waiting to see there.
Hey!
Okay, so he really is just holding on to that. And it kind of does make some sense here if you think about it, because he's clearing all camps that are single target camps. So he's saving the smite for the one that has some AoE, where the isolation does not benefit him as much. So he really has put a lot of thought into this early clear. Pretty clever.
Something he was always known for, but Akaadian might actually meet him here. ReignOver managed to sneak his way out. Akaadian's going to get the bad news. They're gone.
Night.
And that's an extra camp for ReignOver. Going to get the Scholar Crab as well, so did kind of outpath him there early on, as both junglers, I think, were looking to disrupt the other early, but Raptors are there. Big one gets speared to the face, or the beak, and Akaadian's just going to keep going on. Shouldn't slow Nidalee down too much.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. ReignOver did get a nice little edge. Didn't see any opportunities to actually turn that into a gank or anything, so he just goes right back to farming, but has taken at least away one additional camp from his opponent, which is always going to be nice.
ReignOver is a player that's known for being very smart and converting those little edges, so have to watch for a game here. As Piglet managed to eat a tower hit. Not really where you want to be, but they are pushing the Gate Keith landing, which is good. Tahm Kench is pretty obnoxious when he's up ahead, and Zyra wants to be pushing whenever possible.
Exactly. You want to take away the bush control from him as ReignOver goes in, but Akaadian able to hop away.
Yeah, again, talked about Nidalee being pretty good 1v1. Kha'Zix, I think, still the king. So ReignOver able to win that duel pretty handily, especially getting the jump on. Akaadian, though, going to clean out that ward, uses the Scry's Bloom to make sure they keep full control of vision. And the plant's been pretty annoying, but Keith and Gate doing what they can, and Gate's just going to absorb as much poke as he can. Keith's staying pretty healthy, which is nice.
Yeah, the weird thing here is, okay, great, they've gotten the potions out from Gate, but you know, why were they 5 CS down before this wave when they're the ones pushing in their opponents, right? That's just poor last hitting from Piglet. Just kind of being honest about it. It's something where you should be able to get an advantage from that. You should be up in CS, not down, as there's still a lot of minions here for Keith to collect, and they're even. Yes, it's not a big advantage as far as farm goes, but they should be getting something.
Quick sanity check. Plants no longer count, I believe.
I'm pretty sure they no longer count in 7.2.
That would make sense.
That might be a later thing.
Maybe. So it looks like the totals aren't getting skewed. We'll have to double check that, though.
Sometimes it can get confusing when you're playing on live and something gets changed and then competitive is attached behind.
Yep.
But if that is the case, it would definitely make sense.
Well, Looper and Lourlo doing battle, but he's got a friend here, ReignOver, hanging out in the brush, looking for something sneaky. It looks like ReignOver's already hit the recall button, so no dice on the early lane gang. Looper, even up in farm, is actually going to be slightly ahead, as Lourlo should be TPing back to lane. I imagine Looper will do the same, but going to get an early start on this next wave here as Lourlo goes back, buys his potions, control it, and a second Doran's ring, and he's actually walking for now, seeing that Looper's not insta-shoving the wave back towards his turret.
Not really sure what that eat-up was. Maybe expecting something to come in, but Shen is definitely an incredible last hitter. Just using that Q, you get so much bonus damage. It's so easy to last hit under turret, unless you're really being kind of bullied out and harassed under the turret, which is not something that Maokai can really do, right? Unless you have a massive advantage on this champion, you're not just going to be blasting the Shen. So he's going to be able to pick up that farm and do it quite easily.
You can see Keith. It's actually going to watch Piglet. I'm not going to watch them, but Piglet and Matt will go away, which is nice because Gate had to hit the early recall because of all the harass. He's refilled his potion though, and does have a Ruby Crystal, so should feel a little healthier. Piglet though gets that BF sword by in. He did start longsword interestingly, so kind of wanted maximum AD. Usually Ashe is the one you take it against, and you're still going for that Doran's blade, but
yeah, people are starting to do this anyway, and it's something I'm not really sure which is best. At the end of the day, you're going to get something out of the longsword eventually, right? That could be a Vamp Scepter later on. That could be built into part of your Last Whisper, or if you want to go for Essence Reaver, that can be part of the call field. So there are options that it builds into. It's not as nice as kind of that easy serrated Dark Power Spike that some of the other ADs do get, though. But I like this rotation from TL.
Yeah, it's actually even different. They're actually going to recall and go to the top side of the map. Lourlo had a way prepping and pushing in, so they're going to actually start to do real damage to this turret. And with no one really joining, and GoldenGlue and ReignOver coming up, this is a very successful rotation here for Team Liquid. Should be able to take the first initial amount of gold from the turret.
And that is kind of the price you can pay about those later backs. We've seen a number of teams now utilizing this really smart rotation on the first buy. Just go up to top lane. It kind of fell out of popularity for a while, and teams aren't really reacting to it, right? They're not in position for it. They don't have the timings correct, and TL going to get that first turret for themselves. EchoFox will get a blue buff in return at least. They're pushing up to their opponent's turret, but TL's just going to stay topside and try to push for the tier 2 now. So EchoFox needs to respond well. Yeah,
someone needs to go over. Looper stranded behind that tier 2 turret as Team Liquid have just not stopped. ReignOver's joining here as well, so it's 4v1 right now.
He just has to leave.
Okay, it's going to be late. Doesn't have ultimate either. He's bringing only Akaadian as Kate's still working on the bot out. So Team Liquid kind of bamboozling EchoFox here, able to take a second turret in about as many minutes. Change of plan seems to be working out well.
2 turrets I feel like EchoFox just thought they were going to back off, but welcome everyone from NALCS 2 who are just joining us in this series.
GoldenGlue eating some damage there from Froggen. Does manage to get the E chilled. Wants a little Corki. Akaadian flying through the jungle, but Liquid's going to be stranded in that top part of the map for a long while, so we'll see what Team Liquid do next. Seems that level 1 didn't go too well, so instead looking at make things happen in the early game with a very smart rotation. EchoFox not quite expecting it, despite the fact that we've been praising a lot of elements of the macro game. I'll say particularly when ahead.
I don't even know if he's going to get this turret. I don't think he does.
Not on this wave. Needs a bit of help.
That's pretty rough. I mean, going 0 for 2 on a turret trade without any kills or anything, and ooh, Akaadian now could get caught out.
Oh, he flashed into the pushback there. Now going to get Shen ulted. Froggen going to try and stun it up. That's going to force GoldenGlue away, but cooldown's burnt, and GoldenGlue just had to use the exhaust in the package.
Yeah, that's a good ultimate in from Looper to save his teammate, but nice play from GoldenGlue making something happen as he catches Akaadian counter jungling with the package, easily able to bully him out, and this is something we've seen Bjergsen doing a lot of. When you get the package, the roams to other lanes are so telegraphed, but you can just kind of walk into the jungle and look for your opposing jungler. You're almost always going to be able to win that 1v1 with the package. You can go very, very aggressive, and if you don't find them, you go right back to lane.
That's what GoldenGlue's done now, so he'll be happy with the trade he got there, despite not picking up extra gold for himself. Froggen locking him in. Not too much damage there to GoldenGlue. He's got a nice early Hex Drinker. Should be pretty safe in the 1v1 for now, as Froggen's just got mana items as far as the early stats go. Keith, in the meantime, sweeping things out with the arrow, but again, that turret's low, but it's not down, and Looper is finally pushing the minion wave back towards Lourlo. He's going to have a lot of juicy minions to collect.
He certainly will. I think EchoFox really will want to try to force something on the bot side and at least collect some of that turret gold, because that turret is very, very low, and you do not want to have all this standing gold. Let your opponents really get better item buys and be at these breakpoints earlier, because they can look for fights around that.
ReignOver dodging that spear as VODS is getting cleared out here for EchoFox. It could be Mountain Drake again. The Fox are looking for Looper with no ultimate, but both top laners have teleport, so if they were to join for some sort of big fight, teams have the possibility to get down there. But another sneaky word from TL is going to watch them going by the river. GoldenGlue again locked in, not taking too much damage, really being helped up by the early itemization. But EchoFox is setting up something here. Is it a dive or is it the Drake? We'll have to find out soon.
Yeah, they really want to control the vision around the dragon, and they are doing that. And although GoldenGlue is not taking too much damage from these trades, he's like an early power spike champion against Anivia.
And that's a really nice wall from Froggen, actually going to force the flash from GoldenGlue. So all of a sudden, yeah.
I mean, when it's like, oh great, he didn't take that much damage. Okay, cool, he has a Hex Drinker. Hex Drinker is super powerful early laning item. Tier and a Mana Crystal is not, right? Like, you're supposed to be smashing this guy at this point.
Well, Froggen up in CS and now went back for a bit of extra AP, so blasting one, building into that Rod of Ages means Anivia's only going to get better. She scales on with that mana. Drake being left alone for now. Lourlo actually rotated down for the potential fight that was breaking out, which I like. But Looper, again, getting all that free time. It takes a lot to push the wave back in, and he is going to feel pretty unsafe, but Fox have covered well with some early vision, making sure nothing bad happens to Looper. And if they're drawing everyone to this bottom side of the map, Looper's actually pretty confident that he can stay here despite how long the lane is and still continue to safely pick up farm.
He definitely can, and you can see he wants to go towards the Tiamat very likely with that longsword. May not fully complete the Titanic Hydra, but at least wants to grab this component to help speed up the pushing. I also think that the Zyra portal is a fantastic way to do that also. I honestly kind of feel like it's a better option. It takes down the turrets so quickly. Even with a Titanic, Shen does not kill turrets quickly. But with a Zyra portal, you can use it defensively in a pinch. And if you actually get ignored and get up to that turret, it kills the turrets very quickly.
See if Looper does go for that. Is his Tiamat for now though, so certainly smart early choice as far as pushing the waves out. Turret also went down to Froggen, who was busy hanging out in the side waves. Keith rotated back in the mid lane once more to kind of collect the safer farm for himself. And Team Liquid actually in position to start up this objective. EchoFox likely want to fight them for it, but mistimed on the recalls by the looks of things. EchoFox have knowledge, but not sure they can get in and contest.
Yeah, they're just going to give it up. I mean, Froggen completed that base. They did get the bot lane turret. He wants to buy up his row. He wants to spend his gold. They're not in position, so there's no real reason to force it, especially against some of these early, stronger champions. You know, these people who are going to be ready to go right away. The Corki, the Kha'Zix, all very, very strong right off the bat, and Matt on the Zyra at level 6 is going to be really powerful here too. So I think it's the correct choice from EchoFox, but it's a good job by TL to get advantages where they can.
Well, Keith again continuing to farm that out. Froggen's going to take his own blue buff. There we go, needs a little bit extra. Now actually moving to the top lane. Now this is something that could be a bit more dangerous for Froggen, but I think he'll just take the farm and back away. We're actually going to send Looper to the bottom side of the map now, contending with GoldenGlue, who's in a 1v1. And there is certainly this option for EchoFox. They don't have 2 teleports, but they do have a good amount of map mobility with the Tahm, Kench, and of course the Shen ulti plus TP. So look for them to really stretch TL across these lanes and get farm, and then hopefully take some turret advantages as well.
And one of the things that you have to remember as far as Froggen being safe in the side lanes is that Stand United, right? So who is going to come and kill him 1v1? You know, probably not anyone. Who is going to win the 2v2? You know, who's going to win the 2v2 against him and the Shen? So they're pretty confident that they are going to be safe in that regard, but GoldenGlue getting advantages here on the bot lane.
Yeah, it looks like Froggen actually just trying to open up the map and accelerate the gold that they're looking to get. I mean, mid lane turret's going to be the big one, but if Froggen can actually knock that turret down, he'll give his team some gold that I think they were going to get eventually, but looked really difficult to get given how long that lane was. So I don't mind these assignments. Obviously, Looper can't really stand against 1v1 versus GoldenGlue, let alone 1v3.
Yeah, what I do mind is the slow reactions to the continued push from Echo Fox. You know, we did praise them a lot for the rotations, and these.
It was a bait.
Slow.
Yep, Gate's going in there. Ulti in from Varus is good, but Lourlo
nice
gonna have to eat his. Gate's gonna have to eat his carry as Lourlo dived in. Excuse me. Matt's still here. Piglet looking for an arrow, but TL don't feel too safe. A little blind. Gonna back away from the bottom lane.
Akaadian up here to keep pushing in that top lane. Does have red buff. Will be able to do quite a bit of damage, especially with the attack speed bonus from that heal. Primal Surge, I think it's called. But we'll not be able to actually take it down. Either way, Echo Fox does have to show some respect to the pushing power of TL. You know, the fact that they slipped up to the top side, gave up those 2 turrets, hasn't really ended up mattering too much. But you do need to rotate and give Looper that support, because not only is he giving up turret damage, he's giving up XP.
Ooh, Piglet, that's a very gritty recall. Does flush out of the stun, which is good because he would have died otherwise.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Froggen always plays along those walls and looks for these picks, and just even that small play would have zeroed out the AD carry.
Might even do a bit more here as they're actually sieging onto the mid lane turret. Wall goes up, poke starts in, Akaadian.
GoldenGlue's coming down with package, remember. May look for the engage.
TP from Lourlo, Echo
They
Fox.
want it.
I think they know. Now they're going to have to back away a bit more. GoldenGlue diving straight in, but Froggen actually almost takes out Matt. Sandy United's going to join in. He's now turned into an egg with a Spirit's Refuge. He's going to keep the egg safe. Lourlo, though, looking for the flank, and now they have to be careful. Froggen is going to get snared up, and there's first blood from Piglet. Now Echo Fox have to run back to that turret. Looper, the next one under siege, is forced to flash away.
And Froggen had his flash that whole time. Probably needed to blow it earlier. Even with that egg, you do not really get too protected. We'll see if Echo Fox can hold on to these turrets. Minions are cleared out, but they are very low.
Yeah, poke looks nice as Piglet actually ate a full spear, including the Runic Echoes proc from Akaadian. ReignOver trying something here. He's gone invisible. He's going to leap in onto Akaadian. GoldenGlue going to go over the wall with the Valkyrie. ReignOver's going to leap out. He'll take the camp, but Akaadian does get away with his life.
Nice little try there from ReignOver. I think he was spotted out by the Echo Fox ward, so Akaadian was ready for it. Does not give up his life, but GoldenGlue landing some nice poke here. Really is helping to kind of get them an edge as far as pushing in their opponents.
See Piglet also getting stronger. Looks like Zeal's on the way with the essence we've already done. As Froggen moves his way back to the bottom lane again, collecting as much farm as possible. Lethality is out for Keith as well. Doesn't quite have the second item yet, but Ghostblade is nice and Tyr is stacking up. So things are looking decent here, and gold is almost even. TL up just about, not quite actually, 1,000 gold or so.
Yeah.
Looks like objectives are going to be the bigger deal here. Froggen checking the brush, puts a ward down, and Infernal Drake in 1:45 is the next spot.
I'd like to see Piglet looking for more arrows. It hasn't really felt like he's been throwing out hardly any this whole game. I think he maybe used one in that mid lane team fight, but that's it. And when you're going Essence Reaver, the whole point is basically your arrow. That's like why you have the character. You're building cooldown reduction to be able to spam out your abilities and look for those initiations. So I want to see them being proactive with it. Try to look for arrows. I mean, Keith is hanging out here in the mid lane. You hit that arrow, he's just dead.
Oh, there's an arrow straight onto Keith. Very nice pick as Piglet gets it. ReignOver, they're going to fall down to Akaadian on the other side of it. Gate snared up. He'll be okay.
Sidebar, what was Keith doing? I mean, he just walked up there. Gate wasn't even with him.
That's the problem, I'm telling you. Got to make sure Gate's ready to eat him up at all times.
That was silly.
It was. Well, Keith, it's going to cost him 10 more seconds. But he'll be back out into the rift very soon. ReignOver will be up for the next Drake as well, so nothing too massively lost there, as people will reset for the objective, but always funny to watch here. And this mid lane siege, these picks will start to matter here, and Froggen setting up the trap again.
He's looking for Piglet. Let's see if he gets it.
Stun, not quite. Trying to lead him in, but the wall is good. That should be it, actually, as Piglet is going to fall down. Gate, make sure Akaadian gets in there, but Froggen with a solo kill.
Fool me once, shame on you.
Hello, Lourlo. We're going to start a fight again, but Gate barely gets out. Goes into his soup shield. Ooh, GoldenGlue wants the last few rockets. Might need to flash for it. Does go for. Big one's not enough. There's the shield. Ooh, that was enough.
That Trinity Force auto does so much damage. Looked like he might be okay with that gray health, but definitely not going to be the case. And this could net them a dragon if they're willing to go for it. But remember, Piglet will not be here. So Echo Fox is converging, but this is going down so fast.
Got Looper as well, like Akaadian. Just trying for the steal. Just going in for it, but he can't hop over the wall in time. Dragon goes over, so now Fox needs some picks. They find ReignOver, they can see the shiver. Stun is there, and that's a kill, Akaadian.
Nice kill there, but it did seem like Echo Fox was not on the same page. I mean, the Shen ult's coming in. Looper's obviously expecting Akaadian jump over that wall to go for the seal and to go aggressive, but he did not do it.
Looper caught out, didn't follow his team towards mid lane. He's pretty tanky, he's going to try and run away, but he's been exhausted. Damage is still there. Looper is actually tanky enough for that to be okay. And Fox make the smart end of the trade. They don't get the Drake, but they'll take the turret.
They have given up 2 dragons, but they are pushing in here on mid lane, and TL a little bit slow to respond. Piglet is moving over here. Remember, he still does not have his flash, so if he gets caught out, will be big trouble for him.
And just damage there. Wave's going to get cleared out, but TL managed to move the blue minions out from under the turret and keep it a little healthier. Good little push from Fox. I think we're hoping for a pick to try and continue the siege, but not going to get it. Instead, we might just hit some recalls. Control ward's going to go down, and Akaadian going to try and steal away the Raptor camp here as Froggen eats up some honey fruit in a spare moment.
He will do it, and Akaadian has farmed pretty well this game, but it's actually ReignOver who's still ahead, which is not really what you would expect to see, as Nidalee is such an incredible power farmer. So these two guys have been going pretty even. Difference here you see between ReignOver's Kha'Zix and the one from Akaadian last game, he's going to evolve W second, so more about the poke, more about the wave clear, and kind of slows this sort of thing than actually going in for those assassinations. And I think both with the build and the position he has in this game where he's not so ahead, it makes sense. Well,
turrets are even as Piglet's going to spot 3 members of Fox trying to find a pick on him.
That would have been the 3rd straight time. I mean, he got caught by it that time. It's
GoldenGlue top side now with the package, can rejoin pretty quickly, as he's just going to ride this wave in and try and get some pressure happening. Looper doing the same thing on the bottom side, but Lourlo is actually going to tangle with those minions. Stuns up the poor crab. He's going to get his team that bit of extra vision. And I mean, 1,000 gold up now for Fox. In fact, significantly less than that as I check back up, only 600 ahead. And with those 2 Drakes up for TL, feels like they're holding the effective gold lead here. This game is much closer than game number 1. And TL, I think they've put the power they need it to be, and again, it will just be about how they executed the team. If they thought last game was kind of just an execution error, then they need to execute a little better. Piglet swinging a miss on that arrow. GoldenGlue, though, was set up as well.
Yeah, Piglet and GoldenGlue are in a position to carry here once more, right? Right back to kind of where we were last game, and it is execution. You have these guys on champions that can take over games, that can really carry the team fights, and you also have the protection in the front line of that Maokai to kind of help you to do it. And now they just have to be able to execute. But that said, Lourlo is actually really far behind in farm, like surprisingly far behind. It's not like he's been dying. It's not like he's really been getting focused heavily, but partly because they've been making these kind of 4 or 5 man rotations where Maokai has never gifted any of that farm. He is down quite a lot and won't necessarily be that insanely tanky wall you're used to seeing.
Yeah, not for a little while at least as Froggen gets exhausted. Matt Snipe with a chain of corruption. That's going to be a kill. Froggen collects that one. It's just Fox finding picks and trying to convert into objectives.
I wonder if it is Froggen catching him out again. I mean, Keith did shoot out the Chains of Corruption, so not sure which actually initiated that pick. Either way, good one from Fox. They're going to look to try to control vision around the Baron, start to set this up and look for even more baits and kind of vision control.
Ooh, arrow hits Froggen. Wall does not quite tag ReignOver.
TP coming in from Lourlo. They're looking for a fight here.
All right, they're going to try it. Froggen is going to ride in with Shen. Those Stand United are going to complete. They're after Piglet. They want it. Spear's not going to land. ReignOver's going to eat some poke. GoldenGlue trying to fire back with some missiles of his own. I can now see Lourlo going to have to be a little careful. TL really going to dive deep for this one. GoldenGlue finds a couple of squishies with a bit of poke there. The big one lands. Flash on onto GoldenGlue. The Spirit's Refuge is there. Froggen tries to find the re-snipe, but he doesn't quite get it. Now Gate going to have to eat up Looper. The Fox need to run away. The poke is just back and forth. Man flashes in.
Nice root.
Stranglethorns. ReignOver looking back in again as Froggen turned into an egg. He'll be slain as that's 2 kills for nothing.
Fox hung around a little bit too long there, and then Looper flashing forward with everyone low on health seemed way too aggressive, and TL may be able to get somewhat of an advantage off this.
Keith.
Oh, Lourlo wants it.
He's going to go for it. There's the flash root. He flashes back for it, though. Keith's still going to die to Piglet. The volley's enough for Akaadian. Oh, he wanted to be a hero, but he gets taken out instead.
Everyone is so low on TL, but none of them go down. It's a 4-for-0 for Team Liquid. That's exactly what they needed to try to snowball this game, and it looks like they're pinging onto the Baron. They want to go for it. They are very low on health, but they have Lourlo to tank.
It's really just Gate and
this is theirs.
Keith? Oh, Looper, sorry, who's now respawned. I mean, there's the TP in. Looper's going to try for something, but he can't even steal this. He's going to go into the pit and maybe just get himself killed. Wards instead and sees the bad news. TL secure Baron.
Good job by TL out. A few thousand gold now off a good team fight here in the middle, and And just look at how chunked out they are. A lot of credit has to go to GoldenGlue nailing some ultimates in this fight. But then Looper flashes forward. His team is not really in a position to help him out. And look at the low health bars. They can't afford to really stick around in this fight. It should have been full retreat. It wasn't. And Matt capitalizes, flashing forward, nailing the root there onto 2. And that nets him a couple kills. And then Keith stays around too long. Gets caught by the flash, twisted advance from Lourlo, and he goes down as well.
Well, it's a couple thousand gold there for TL. We'll see if they can extend that lead significantly with the Baron, or if EchoFox will be able to stymie that pressure. Drake is up in 13 seconds, and EchoFox currently have a window. Looper going to get arrowed up. They're going to go for it. Gate getting taken down as well. He eats one, but that's not enough. He's not going to get snared as GoldenGlue gets another. Looper knocked up by the Stranglethorns on the back end after being devoured. ReignOver stunned, but that's not quite enough poke. ReignOver takes a little more. Chain of Corruption hits GoldenGlue and Matt, but fight's gonna just kind of wither out there. And TL looking to take the Drake.
Akaadian and Keith actually landing a lot of poke, and this could enable them to go for the fight. They are going to go now.
Akaadian's going to leap in. No, not quite. Need to cut somebody off. Froggen needs a big wall here. Or that needs to happen. Wall looking for it. Stun, not quite. GoldenGlue Valkyrie's out of the way. EchoFox is going to try and take the Infernal Drake away instead. They really need to even these up, and they will be able to.
That was really well played from Keith and Akaadian there, nailing a lot of poke, enabling them to push TL out of the fight and getting that Infernal back.
Piglet, you're crazy! Actually, blast coned over to try and take out Looper. Akaadian's not going to chase him down. Piglet, a bit smarter than that. It's not going to keep the chase up, but very bloodthirsty for Piglet this game. 4-1-2 already, looking to really step up and be the carry.
Yeah, so far so good. GoldenGlue and Piglet have been performing. GoldenGlue really has been good at threading those rockets back onto the squishies in the team fights and needs to continue having this level of performance because this is a team that really can stall out and scale up very heavily. Anivia is famous for having those really long games where you just stall out forever. Yep,
speaking of miss for Akaadian, Turret's going to fall, and Team Liquid now 5,000 gold ahead. And maybe growing as they're actually assaulting the bottom lane tier 2 as well. EchoFox playing defensively, trying to get picks where they can, but you're really at the mercy of the team with the Baron buff, and Team Liquid playing very well from ahead at this stage as GoldenGlue packages his way out towards the red buff. Probably just running out. It's going to take the buff for himself as well. Team Liquid take full control of this bottom side of the map, and now going to reset, maybe try and push down that top side, which is got a big wave of minions and still an inhibitor turret to hit, because they lost 2 turrets very early in this game, did old EchoFox.
They definitely did, and they took out every outer now. Really extending that gold lead, and we're kind of seeing the struggles of Nidalee from behind, right? What is Akaadian really doing here besides just throwing the occasional spear?
Gate snared up, arrow's gonna land in, Looper finds Lourlo though. Good refuge, not blocking quite enough, and now he's gonna be squishy. Gate eats him up, that should get him out to safety, but tank is low, support is low, Snipe's not there from the missiles. GoldenGlue though stunned up by Froggen, means he's almost gonna go down. Huge hero play there from the Anivia, and GoldenGlue is a little too far forward.
It's the poke, it really is what is keeping EchoFox into this game. You know, Keith and Akaadian need to keep throwing those spears through, hitting those piercing arrows, and Froggen really has to protect his team from any dives. If the other team overcommits, he needs to be the one pushing them back, pushing them out with the wall, stunning them up, and really disengaging and separating the fight. And so far, they have been able to do that, but TL has not overextended and has taken the edges where they can get them.
Well, Baron buff about to drop off, so the assault will stop for now as EchoFox will have to regroup. We've got, looks like another Infernal Drake on the table, so it could be a 2-for-1 advantage as far as that objective goes. EchoFox maybe looking to collect their second Drake in a couple minutes when that objective rolls around. For now, though, they've kind of stopped the bleeding. Didn't lose any inhibitor turrets, which is nice, but Team Liquid now have a whole huge section of the map to play with, and at this point, you have to think they're enough ahead. Their comp looks like it's pretty decent. They've got the Maokai in case they get into team fights. They really should be just fine moving through this game, and now it's about, again, executing and finishing this game out cleanly.
Exactly. They have all the tools they could ever really need to close out a game. They have the gold lead. They have a very strong composition. You can see GAs are being bought up for ReignOver and Lourlo. They're working towards those, and that may be kind of the go sign when they actually complete those GAs, allowing Kha'Zix and the Maokai to really dive deep. Having those 2 extra lives in a fight when your opponents are going to have no GAs could be what allows them to dive deep and close out a game.
And I think on the other side for EchoFox, despite being behind, how they lose, or in this game, depending on what happens, I still want to watch how they go about it. Are they going to continue to make decisive plays and be aggressive? Will they use their comp intelligently? Because even in losses, we've credited EchoFox for strong play. And again, kind of behind here in this one, they'll have to show us that, you know what, we can still make that big moments happen when we need to as a team and make a comeback victory. TL going to be looking to make sure that does not happen. As GoldenGlue caught out, that's really bad news.
Definitely not what you want to have happen. You know, GoldenGlue caught, split pushing there, gives up his flash as well, which means he is going to be susceptible. But it did cost EchoFox quite a lot. 3 summoners as well as the ultimate. Akaadian looking to chase down on Lourlo.
Those plants doing a lot of damage.
Yep.
We do have the Leandry's finish from that. EchoFox, though, they've got a power play for 30 more seconds. They're going to go straight for some turrets.
Yeah, I mean, GoldenGlue is really one of the strongest members right now with that IE and the Triforce. They're going to at least get this mid lane turret, especially because Piglet was really slow to base. And they could theoretically go for even more, try to push in towards that inner. But I'd be more expecting them to see them get vision around Baron, you know, push up top lane, kind of get control of their waves.
Setting up for the next objective, waiting for Lupa's ult to come back off cooldown. Another trap's being set. Ghostblade popped. Lourlo not the best target, so not going to go for that one. Froggen going to cut him off. Nice twisted advance, gets him out under the wall.
That was actually a Looper TP there. So they were looking to commit pretty heavily to that fight. Does get canceled out. But Lourlo is going to have the global advantage for some time for now. And here's this fight once again. Let's see how it happens. So GoldenGlue, the arrow already missed, and he jumps forward into a losing fight. And this is where he has realized his mistake as the commitment goes in. And that's just a straight-up mistake. That arrow was not going to hit. If it hits, sure, you Valk in, but you do that after it hits.
Yeah, not quite on the same page perhaps, and GoldenGlue not being impatient. Froggen does manage to get the counter kill. Burns his flash as well, but still
Ghost.
Net positive for EchoFox. 15 seconds till the Baron's back up. Lupa's ultimate's going to take a little while longer. It was 80 seconds until it was back up when that replay started. So he's going to have to wait a little while longer, but shouldn't be too much further. In fact, he's sticking with his team because they know they really just want to threaten the Baron. It's up now, so EchoFox might just try and make that big decisive play.
You also have to know you can't afford to actually get caught out, separated from your team this late in the game, because that means Baron for sure, and perhaps even the game end, depending where that fight happens.
ReignOver knows this. He leaps out of the way. Managed to get over Froggen's wall once again. And those GAs are completed on the Team Liquid side, so feeling a little bit better about maybe getting picked off. And Team Liquid, again, if they're going to have that one big fight to close out the game, it's kind of approaching right now.
It certainly is, and with the Infernal Dragon coming up, does EchoFox have the confidence to actually challenge for this into the 2 GAs? It looks like their option is to threaten the Baron, but I think that the Infernal is going to be gone too fast. I don't actually think they can get anything here.
Well, Infernal going to stay for ReignOver, and EchoFox don't have Scuttlecraft vision, so that's going to be double Infernal now for Team Liquid. ReignOver able to solo that one very easily, and Piglet's even going to steal away the red buff.
They kind of have the inside track here too.
Lourlo walled up. Looked pretty tanky though. Chain of Corruption gets used actually, but tags ReignOver. Not going to get snared. GoldenGlue just firing, poking to the left-hand side of the fight. And Piglet has his arrow. Might be looking to fire it. Probably not onto Lupa, but he'll rejoin his team, get some vision with the Hawk Shot. And EchoFox all of a sudden back in their base, looking to defend a push. And now TL faking
Froggen wants
back
Piglet. He's looking
towards Baron. Froggen no flash, but he's got Ghost. He's going to pop it. Piglet
the Abyssal Voyage coming in. Piglet may be caught out here.
Nice from Gate. Who's he brought? He's brought Keith again. There's the flash up. Gate flashes into the arrow, but there's a slow from the lick.
The Baron's being rushed. The Baron's being rushed.
Piglet's going down, but the Baron looks to go down. TL should be able to trade it here. But Piglet not going to get it. Dead for 45 seconds. Rough trade for Team Liquid.
No, I would say that's a big win for Team Liquid, actually. I mean, you give up a kill. Sure, it sucks that the Summoners are down and Piglet got picked off, but you will take Baron for a kill for sure, as far as gold advantages and the fact that they can push here. The only way this really goes EchoFox positive is if they can take something before Piglet gets back up, but their minion waves are not in the position to do it.
No, they've been pushed in pretty consistently since the 6 turrets have fallen on their side. Team Liquid have really had the map advantage for, I would say, that at least the last 10 minutes. You can see that manifest in the control of the objectives. They got the next Infernal. They got the Baron buff very cleanly, despite the fact that, yes, Piglet will not get it and did go down. GoldenGlue still back in the side waves, going to Baron up those minions and really start to try and do some damage. And we saw TL, they got a bit further ahead with the Baron, but they didn't decisively move into a point where they could end the game. This second Baron, with the second Infernal, should be the point where you say, okay, this is the best possible position to maneuver into a point in the game where we're going to try and win it.
Yeah.
Yes, if you get a big fight, you can win and just kind of roll into the base, but Team Liquid should be thinking, this game should be ours. How do we go about finishing it?
Exactly. They really have everything now. If you're waiting any longer at this point, I think it's to your own detriment. They're upping gold. They have double Infernal. They have the Baron. Every outer is down. You must crack the base at this point, or you do kind of risk giving EchoFox more opportunities to get back into this game as they are scaling up.
And EchoFox just haven't quite found a spot they've liked, it seems like. I mean, trying to play around the objectives, but TL have beaten them around the map as far as macro goes. Picks haven't been happening. TL have been playing a little bit better defensively, although Piglet, notwithstanding for that last trade, which was, like you said, was pretty good for TL overall. I mean, they're sticking together. They know they need to play their comp carefully and look for the smart team fight. Lupa's going to tie up Lourlo, and the poke's going to fire in, but these minions are the real problem.
They really are, and the fact of the matter is, they have really good wave clear, but it's very difficult to actually clear out the minions fast enough. And look at how GoldenGlue, a couple autos, and that turret just lost about 80% of its health. The Triforce autos from Corki at this point are ridiculous.
Baited out the ultimate from Keith as well, so that's going to be down for a little next while. Piglet eats a big spear. Catches that one straight in the face. But again, he'll heal up, not too bad.
And Keith took one auto to the face, lost half his health.
That's
the GoldenGlue there.
GoldenGlue back out again. ReignOver wants it. Froggen pops his Seraphs. And the ulti actually used by Lupa. Lupa maybe looking for another big flash as Lourlo TPs his way over. Didn't go too far, but needs to join his team for the potential team fight.
And Keith is pretty low here. Froggen blew his Seraphs, so that is one of his big kind of defensive tools that he has. And that shield is not going to be up for the next team fight. So it's tough because Fox needs to stick around if they want to hold on to this inhibitor, and they don't want to allow their base to be cracked as a siege composition like this. So they're trying desperately to hold on.
Yeah, they're trying to poke again, but they really want to hold on to this turret if they can. The whole Gardener plants, though.
Lourlo
gets stunned. He's taking a little too much. Froggen tries to finish him off, but he doesn't pop the GA. TL struggling to really complete this siege, but they don't lose anyone.
They don't lose anyone, but Echo Fox doesn't lose the turret. And with 80% of the health of the turret going down in the first couple seconds of that siege, they did a commendable job to hold on to that. And that is a lot of the Baron timer gone. So really good job. It didn't actually cost them any summoners either. The TP is now down for Lourlo, so Shen can start trying to push out the side lanes, has his TP available, and they can start trying to regain control.
Well, TL, but Baron about to run out here, so in fact it's dropped off.
Didn't get anything.
I don't think he got it. He's going to instead pop the Scryer's Bloom, and we'll have to look to Elder Dragon as our next major objective. Up in a minute 30, GoldenGlue up to his old tricks here in bottom lane with the package, trying to hope somebody sticks their face out a little too far. He's very strong in the Corki, almost full build. There's maybe an item and a half to go. Level 18, I mean, things are going well for him. But the rest of the team's collapsing here for Echo Fox, and GoldenGlue does not want to get himself picked up a minute before a major objective.
I mean, if he shows himself bot lane now, there's no big objective to trade, and he just showed himself. They could look for the Abyssal Voyage, but they don't know where the rest of the team is, and that is kind of what that ping is. They're pinging the Tribush saying, hey, they could be lying in wait for this. It could be a bait. It's not in this case, but you have to show that respect to your opponents.
Yeah, smart stuff from Echo Fox. Again, making the safe play and just continuing to clean their waves out. Team Liquid did not crack the base with that second Baron, so despite all the setup, they're going to have to try again, whether it's with this siege that they're potentially starting or the fight for this objective that they're looking to. Elder Dragon up in under 40 seconds now. GoldenGlue's gone back. He's finished his fourth item, and Echo Fox are pushing out. They're going to try and get the waves back in their favor, but they have to know that this Dragon is TL's next objective.
They really do, and if you take a look at Froggen now, he's almost full build. Like, this is a very strong Anivia, and Lourlo looks like he wants a fight. Remember, they still do have the 2 GA advantage, but they need to have a good initiation. Lourlo goes in.
Yeah, onto Lupa. That's not where he wants to be. The poke is good from GoldenGlue. The teams are just trading poke back and forth as Lourlo gets cut off again. That chain of corruption is going to miss, and TL is eating the wrong end of the poke here in the trade. Redemption's going to heal up Echo Fox. They have a health advantage now.
A big health advantage here, and Looper has his flash. You can look for him to make a play.
Ooh, ReignOver! Not quite
Didn't
cut off by the
vision,
wall. Yeah, needed a little more. TL, though, kind of gave up their spot on this objective, and their waves are not pushing in their favor. Lourlo, you are so lucky to not die, but Matt gets stunned. There's a snipe from Keith. 5v4 for Echo Fox now with GoldenGlue. Oh, he had to get out.
And GoldenGlue gets chunked out. Lourlo doesn't have his TP, so they can start this right up if they want to. Remember, ReignOver still on the side. 2 GAs available. GoldenGlue and Piglet must be big in this fight.
They see ReignOver, though. They're going to try and zone him out. He's stealing away the honey fruit, but Gate just needs to zone him. GoldenGlue look for Froggen, but the Staying United's there. Sarah's going to pop as well as ReignOver goes in, but he almost gets stunned. Stun's barely going to miss him.
The Dragon's still doing damage to these guys. It's actually on Keith now. Lourlo's going in.
He wants it. He's got his health back, but ReignOver's going to try and go back in for a Keith. Has to flash. Huge damage from GoldenGlue. Almost sees him picked off. Lupa a little too low as ReignOver gets the kill. His GA will be popped, but GoldenGlue is chasing in. He wants Froggen, but Akaadian takes him down. GoldenGlue dead. Piglet now back into the fight as Lourlo's GA is going to be the next one to pop. Froggen turned into an egg.
They need to defend the egg.
No help worth to play with him. Froggen's going to die. There's a triple for ReignOver. Piglet gets the other, and that's an ace for Team Liquid!
What an insane fight between these two teams. They do get both the GAs, but how huge were those? Both these two guys end up alive at the end of the fight. They will claim the Elder Dragon, and that will be their window to try to again, look to close out this game. Such an insane fight. Very, very close. Came down to the wire. A couple missed skill shots at the end. Kind of hurt Echo Fox.
Preparation rewards them though. They won't lose too much here, but let's watch this again.
And nice arrow does start out onto Froggen. And part of the problem here is that Echo Fox is taking this Elder Dragon for so long. At which point do you stop doing this? Look at Keith. He takes 1 shots. He takes 2 shots. He takes 3 shots from the Elder Dragon. That was 30–40% of his health gone there, which really was a big mistake. They needed to move off that dragon earlier in the fight. And in the bottom left, you can see TL claiming the Baron there as well. This was an insane fight.
Such a good leap there from ReignOver. So it gets over Froggen's ulti, and then that egg's pretty much it for the back end of this fight.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't have the health to actually defend Froggen in his egg, and I mean, now Elder and Baron. Echo Fox held off against the Baron last time, didn't even give up that inhibitor turret, but it is really low, and they have the Elder Dragon true damage buff to contest with, so that's going to be very tough.
Yeah, double Infernal Drake's not bad for TL. So again, everything going right as far as the objectives lining up here, but they still need to actually win the game. 10k up, I mean, 40 minutes in, that's starting to matter less and less, particularly for someone like Froggen that is effectively at full build here. But TL have all the advantage they could ask for to try and win this game.
Yeah.
One last bit of execution is required. That was an excellent team fight for them. In a very tricky situation, they just need to cleanly get a pick or start the fight and close out the game.
And you have to remember the Elder Dragon, on top of the true damage, also amplifies the buffs you already have. So they essentially have triple Infernal at this point, plus the 135 extra true damage burn, and then the base 45. So they're doing a massive amount of true damage. Like GoldenGlue with 1 crit auto on an AD on Keith is probably about 80% of his health.
Well, there's a missile, took 15-20. Baron minion's going to work out. Double cannon doing work here. Froggen's trying to wall off the rest of Team Liquid. Looper eating poke. He's almost dead just from poke. Yeah. And that turret's going to die to the Baron cannon. A couple more shots need to happen. Froggen's going to wall them away. Try to delay the game for as long as possible, but the hero are the minions. Piglet's going to leap in for the last auto.
And they just have to give up this inhibitor. Really, they need to get a handle on some of these other minion waves and recollect themselves, get their health back here, because they can give up one without it being a big deal.
ReignOver, that's bad news. Shut down from Looper. Team Liquid, they get one in here, but they lose their jungler.
ReignOver, the veteran, that is not what you want from one of your most experienced players. These are your windows to close the game. They're still ahead. They still have the advantage, but they wanted to end it there. And that pickoff means they have to back up.
And again, Echo Fox have really been playing reactively for the last 20 minutes at least in this game. Yeah. They've been trying to find picks. They set a couple traps in the mid game, but TL got wise to that and stopped face checking in zone places for the most part. Unfortunately, maybe a little too eager as ReignOver too far forward gets himself sniped. And that's going to delay the game for longer. And the longer this game goes on, the better Echo Fox's chances get.
And TL is actually pushing pretty aggressively here with the package. They are posturing, but remember, this is a 5v4. We have the Abyssal Voyage and that Shen ultimate to respond. They could look for a pick in the jungle here. This may be a fight. This could be terrible for Echo, or rather for TL.
Looks like they'll back off. Lourlo and Matt able to disengage successfully. Piglet also looking for an arrow, but doesn't find it. Echo Fox, again, just cleaning out the minion waves as fast as they can. The longer, again, they can delay the game, let the Elder Dragon buff drop off, which is now, I believe, left TL. Let the Baron buff drop off as well. Just take away some of those advantages, continue to buy those last few items that they don't have yet, and just put the game into a position where it's a coin flip. The last team fight was incredibly close around the Elder Dragon. Fox know that if they won that fight, the game probably ends and they win the series 2-0. So they only need to take the advantages they can't get, like those objectives, off of TL, and once they drop, it's 50-50. If they win the fight, that's probably game.
Yeah, I agree. I'm curious to see if TL will actually wait for the completed Last Whisper here for Piglet, because although he's basically full build, he actually still doesn't have a Last Whisper item, and there's a lot of armor here on Looper, right? You have the Randoms, you have the Sunfire, you have the Tabas, and he's going to punch through that Shen so much faster with the completion of that item, so they may want to try to hang around for that, but it looks like they want to make use out of the pressure that they have right now from that top inhibitor being down.
Another trap being set, but look at this, without the Baron buff, Froggen is able to do something he has done for many years on Anivia.
It's the top lane that's the problem, right? They have to delay and avoid the dive, because they can actually just tank the turret and take that down without minions. It's so low right now.
How did this happen? GoldenGlue, no health.
Tagged by Froggen.
Does a lot of damage here with the Leandry's now completed. Full item Anivia. I mean, Keith is busy. He's got work to do on the supers, but Froggen's just keeping them out. In fact, Lourlo gets walled off there.
Oh,
Lupa's
nice
gonna
stun.
The stun's going to land. That's big damage onto the tank gate. He's going to win up Lupa. Stranglethorn's committed by that. And there's one GA down. Can they line up the stun? They don't quite get it, but Chain of Corruption's going to tag him. Echo Fox. They can see it, but they don't overcommit.
They don't, and I think that is the right call with the Kha'Zix lurking on the side. ReignOver can execute people there, and if Froggen goes down, the game will very likely end. They're using Redemption, trying to heal back up because they don't want Froggen to have to go back to base. They're trying to hold on a few more waves.
Froggen needs help, and Lourlo's actually back. He's going to teleport straight on top of them. It's a little risky. Lupa doesn't line up the taunt, though.
That could have been Lourlo's life if Lupa timed that properly.
Piglet also getting chunked, so Team Liquid does not all sync together. Minions still causing problems for Echo Fox's Nexus turrets, and Froggen, he's made it back. He's going to try and clear it out and then get back to bottom lane.
Yeah, they're rotating out, so Keith went to base while Froggen tried to stay out at low health. And now that Keith is back, Froggen gets his chance, kind of his shift off. But it looks like Kha'Zix is moving over towards the mid lane. They have to keep track of all these side waves. TL is pushing very aggressively, but so far, Echo Fox has been equal to the task, and once again, they have to back off.
It's just the inhibitor in top lane that they've lost. Akaadian curing out these. The nice thing about having more of a carry jungler for Nidalee is he can also be here and clear out waves when they really need them to. Froggen made sure to fend off mid as ReignOver was pushing that in, and it's just late in this game. 45 minutes in, max level on almost everyone. Support's lagging behind just a bit, and Keith needs an extra level, but Baron up again in a minute 15. TL, how many advantages do you need to close out this game? Because the longer it goes on, A, the worse Baron honestly is going to get, because really, what are you going to siege with it? And B, if you slip up, one little mistake's going to cost you this.
It's definitely nerve-wracking. It's one of those situations where you know you're still ahead. You know you're still in a pretty good spot, but the longer you stay ahead without being able to kind of deal that death blow, the worse it starts to feel, because you know their item completions are coming in. You know Froggen is full build. So there's no advantage really on GoldenGlue anymore. You know Keith is near full build, and these guys are getting very, very strong. And although there's a lot of poke on TL, one thing that Akaadian is doing that's helping a lot is just simply, he's basically being a heal bot on the Nidalee, right? He hasn't been able to go dive in for assassinations or anything like that, but he constantly heals them. He's trying to thread those spears through and really sustain up his teammates so that they can look for the pick and look for these plays.
Echo Fox know that things are looking a little scary. That top lane inhib has not respawned yet, and there's a big wave building in. It's now respawned, so they have to pull back and try and clear it out. Loop is actually up to that task, but Echo Fox no, Baron up in 10 seconds. Means that TL are probably going to look for something there.
Yeah. Shen is really good in this situation, though, because Stand United is so much more powerful than the teleport in a spot like this, because you have the instant impact on a team fight. If something starts happening, you at least can contribute with the shield.
Arrow hits gate. That's a good target for them. Doesn't have to use it, though. It's pretty tanky as well on the Tahm. Kench, TL again firing poke away at gate. He's healing back up. They're going to push creeps back in, and Lupa is getting those minions where they need to be, which is out of the base. And ReignOver caught a bit again. Damage is there, but pretty tanky there for ReignOver as well. And Echo Fox, now the inside track on mid lane. Lupa can join at any time. The Team Liquid have to rotate carefully around these objectives.
Very calm play from Echo Fox, not pulling the trigger on Stand United or even the QSS, right? They know they're okay in this situation. They feel like if there's a commitment onto gate, Stand United can come through, and if too many cooldowns are blown on the tanky support, they will win the fight. So they don't blow anything. They get the minion waves pushing, and Lourlo's potty has no GA. Oh, he does a GK.
That's good. Now Lupa's going to join back in again. No overcommitment. They've spotted Piglet. Whoa, that looks very unsafe. GoldenGlue also maybe caught Froggen. He wants to secure the kill. He's not going to quite land the stun. Akaadian fighting ReignOver and Piglet, but Piglet and ReignOver are winning. Spirit's Refuge from Lupa as the tank.
But the rest of the team is coming.
Here comes Gate. ReignOver flips his way out, and Piglet's caught in enemy territory. GoldenGlue tries to make the big play, but he can't kill Keith.
They're trying to hunt down Piglet. Piglet is starting the recall, and TL is trying to harass these guys as they come through.
Froggen looks for ReignOver, does get a bit
Will they
of
find him? He's going to try to kill Keith.
Now they know Keith is dead, but they're going to flash in onto him. It could be a trade for AD carries. Gate eats him and shuts him down.
But still, GoldenGlue, no package now. They are looking, and the minion waves are pushing in the bot side. They get a turret for Echo Fox. This gold lead now matters basically not at all. Yeah. Everyone is essentially capped out of items, generally at 80k. TL's making a super risky call. They're going Baron.
Don't even know if they could get it safely that they'd want
Even if they can they win the fight after?
I don't know. Akaadian's here. They're going to go in for it. Stranglethorns fights one after the root. Lourlo gets in there. Baron goes over to Team Liquid, but they can't do it. Oh my god, Froggen reads it like a book after the Falcon. ReignOver, he's got the GA, but for how much longer? Stun lands again. It is heartbreaking for Team Liquid.
And look at the bottom lane. The inhibitor turret is going down. If ReignOver dies here, they could just rotate bot, and they could be the ones looking to close it out. These death numbers are so long.
Akaadian tracks him and shuts him down. 2-3 dead for Team Liquid. Piglet up in 15, a minute on ReignOver.
And 45 on GoldenGlue. Let's watch this one again. Overreaching by TL. They're getting desperate. They can't close out the game. You have to track GoldenGlue in this fight. Valks in aggressively right into the stun that Matt is flashing out of. He does not track the Anivia stun, gets nailed by, and that decides the fight because their AD carry is already down. He knows he may have just cost his team the game.
And it's rough. GoldenGlue, it's been such a rough start for TL overall, and you can see it all on his face. Lourlo getting caught out again. Good twisted event, so just the first bit of CP,
Piglet is
but
here.
not the next one. Piglet firing arrows in, but Looper is very, very tanky. Keith not here as EchoFox are still pushing forward. Maybe a bit too much, trying to catch him out. Wall out there as Piglet still trying to take down Looper. The Shen, he's getting low. Now the GA is going to get popped. Piglet forced to QSS. Looper's going to revive. Lourlo's going to revive. Lourlo, he's not going to live. Piglet almost gets chunked by
Piglet's down!
Slapped him down with a piercing arrow.
Oh no.
And EchoFox have minion waves where they need them.
That is just a disaster.
It's so tough, and you know Team Liquid, the hardest thing about this game isn't the advantage they had. It isn't how tight it's been. It isn't how tense the whole game feels. It's that losing a game like this, that a team that is already down stifles your momentum so much. This game is so much easier for TL to win if their season started better, I guarantee you.
I know, I really agree. I think a lot of it is the mental composure, the worry, knowing that you keep losing these series, you keep losing these games. It's always in the back of your head in these games and in these team fights, and sometimes it makes the players overreach, try to do a little bit too much, and you see the strength of the poke coming through. Even though Piglet is in a great position in the back, such good play between Looper and Gate, you know, eating up Looper after he nails the taunt, kind of keeping him on the edge. Well, Lourlo is constantly walled in, and Piglet wants to take down the tank. He had so much time to do it, but he can't get in range, and he gets sniped out by Keith and Akaadian.
Well, the good news is that we will have at least one more exchange before the game ends. EchoFox did not try and end despite their death timers. They took the Elder Dragon instead. It's not a huge buff, but it's definitely good to take away from Team Liquid, and it will help in the next fight. And
it was probably the safe call to make, right? I got a little bit excited, thought they were going to go for it. But with GoldenGlue alive and all their health bars at like 10-15%, that is how you can throw a game. So they make the safe call. And while it's not, you know, the 3 dragon damage, you still have 90 true damage on each hit. With the Varus and the Nidalee, if you hit spears on squishies, it's a lot of extra damage. These guys are already pumping out massive amounts of DPS. I mean, Keith is full build now. So is Froggen and Aldemar. We'll
see how this siege works out. Baron actually still up on TL, so it's a bit tricky to push through these minions. Baron isn't going to last that much longer, though. And EchoFox at least have the bottom wave prepped. Looks like top might be for TL's favor there.
Definitely is.
Could see a race between the minions, but EchoFox might just say, you know what, we've got this wave pushing. Let's just try and finish this off again. One little mistake will cost the team this game.
And Froggen even swapping out some items, does have the death cap now here, so wants to have that super powerful 6-item completion. We may even see that for Akaadian later on if he gets enough gold for that. Could swap out his Ludens for a death cap, as when you're at 6 items, the amount of extra power you get is just massive.
And Froggen gonna need to be healed back up. There's a redemption and the heal out from Nidalee, so plenty of help to continue the siege. Team Liquid's Baron has dropped now, I believe, and that turret's dead. Now they're just in the base, they're going to cut them off. EchoFox to close. Akaadian tries to assassinate. Piglet pops the zone. Chain of Corruption hits Matt, but the strength takes them out. There's a kill onto Akaadian. ReignOver trying in the back to get some assassination down, but the rest of the team's going to join him. Leads back into the fight as 2 dead already for Fox. Looper gets himself out with a nice wall from Froggen, but that's 2 for 1. Piglet dies, and 2 over on the side of EchoFox.
Akaadian getting pretty hyphy there. Tried to go in and make the hero play to take down Piglet. They do eventually get Piglet, but they trade 2 of their own, and it could have been so much worse for EchoFox. It looked like a fight that could have gone disaster.
Oh, Lourlo, that was slick. Gets walled off, though. I mean, he flashed through the stun. He was trying to finish the game. ReignOver's going to look for it as well. Good QSS off there from Keith. Froggen covers with a stun. They have to deal with the top wave of minions, but Team L might try and make a huge play to decisively end the game as Lourlo gets chunked. That's real bad
Might have
news.
wanted that flash now, buddy.
Looper does Spirit's Refuge, it's not enough. The GoldenGlue, it could be the hero, takes out keeper Froggen, defending for his team. ReignOver dies as well.
It's just Froggen versus the world. 17 seconds on Akaadian.
GoldenGlue, ooh, good flash from Froggen.
Oh, he wants, he's going in.
He's trying to end the game. He needs to be the hero. Stun, it's gonna land, but Froggen's turned into an X. Matt's gonna join him in, and GoldenGlue's got the DPS.
5 seconds on Akaadian, 4 on Gate. They're gonna get at least 1 inhibitor, maybe 2. Will they stay around? Here comes the Abyssal.
Gate's in there, he's gonna try and lock one down. GoldenGlue needs to bail, he has. And it's just the one in, nothing else happens. And somehow at 54 minutes in, with almost 100,000 gold for each team, we get another map reset.
This game is a heart attack waiting to happen, Pastry. I mean, if ReignOver had not gotten taken out there by that last turret shot, the game could have ended. There's so many little things that are going back and forth, and Lourlo, you know, committing the flash, trying to make the big play, makes him go down. If he's still alive there, had his flash available, they could once again be ending the game. You know, if that's a flash twisted advance with his team to follow up, GoldenGlue pops them and they maybe end. And that's the thing. People want to be the hero sometimes. They want to make the big play, and it doesn't always work out. So this is the flashless Lourlo getting taken down. Lots of damage coming in here. And then GoldenGlue goes for it. They're able to get the first kill. GoldenGlue flashing in, picks up the second. ReignOver goes right into that stun, does get taken down.
And then tries to be a hero again, does manage to take out Froggen, because he knows he has to get in and try and do something here.
Yeah, and I mean, this is just a nice play here from GoldenGlue. The E able to finish off Froggen, even though he does get hit by that stun. And GoldenGlue coming up big, a couple kills in the late game there. You know, hasn't been able to get much done in quite a while, but he's doing it when it counts, at least now.
Well, 15 seconds almost to the Baron as we officially cross the threshold for longest game in the 2017 Spring Split in the NALCS.
There you go, something to cheer about. Maybe the third Baron is the charm for TL, is they have the inside track, and they're just going to rush it down again. I mean, it doesn't feel like Echo Fox is in position. This is going to die really fast.
Again, Baron is okay here for TL, but Echo Fox
on the side
might look to challenge Matt in a good spot here. Baron already dead, Echo Fox all right. Yep, we're leaving. We're leaving. TL maybe now have an opportunity to pounce, take the blue buff, instantly goes to GoldenGlue, poking to land on the Piglet, which is nice there from Keith, but Fox are going to be very late back to defend the potential push here, and Baron up minions are going to start to hurt.
Yeah, they certainly can. It's just these double super minions coming in with the Baron does make it a little bit more difficult. That said, the amount of wave clear these guys have at this point is pretty massive, and they can shred through that wave. So TL will just take what they can get, but at this point, it's really just about optimizing builds. Piglet, you can see, was actually considering changing up his build. He sold his Zerker Greaves and then rebought them there. So he's deciding he doesn't want to go for the double crit multiplier items and go for that 80% crit. And he's valuing the mobility higher, right? He's saying he needs to be able to actually be effective with this. And one thing also to take into consideration when you get super late like this is Zyra can become a teamfight menace. This is a death cap, void staff, Rylai's, you know, like Leandry's Zyra. This is like a mid lane Zyra now. So it's not just GoldenGlue and Piglet and everything you have to watch out for. Almost an hour into the game, if Matt hits a combo on Keith or Froggen, they will die from full health.
They will. I mean, they've got everything again they need as Looper tanks up the big one very nicely there from GoldenGlue. He's got the package ready once again. We've also got the Knight's Vow. Froggen is really being protected here by Gate. Lourlo again trying to brute force the way in. They bust it down. Looper now caught. Struggle for Zing and look to disengage the rest of the fight. ReignOver leaps in aggressively, but almost gets himself stunned. They can't see him though, as the Invis is going to help, and that's a second inhib going down.
And Looper is going to go down here probably as well.
Oh no.
Trying to run, but that's a GA and a death here. And TL finally, 5v4 here, Baron buff, 75 seconds on Looper. They really want to end, and it's going to be hard for Echo Fox to defend.
They have to try. Baron's still up for a little while longer. They need the poke, they need a catch, but TL just needs to do the last little bit of legwork. Piglet starting to get some aggressively positioned autos on there. GoldenGlue just poking them away. Echo Fox just can't clear everything in time. Wall's not bad. Gate's tanking up what he can. That turret is going to fall soon. GoldenGlue's going for it. He almost snipes Froggen with a missile. There's one. ReignOver's in. Akaadian Zonya's is going to be safe. Flashes out. Turret now available. Matt tanking it. They're just going to try and end it ASAP. TL, that might not have been the play you wanted. Chain of Corruption's going to miss that from Varus, and we're going to hold on for a little bit longer.
We got the defense chance going on in the LCS studio. People wanted this game to go longer. Lourlo seeping back in.
Edge of Night good for ReignOver, blocks that Q that would have killed him. Gate trying to take it up.
Froggen.
This looks like a little too much damage. GoldenGlue taking the Tahm, but it does fall down. Nexus open, Team Liquid! Gonna force a third game.
Almost an hour in. Third Baron buff is the charm for Team Liquid. They finally close out a game here. Are able to take down Echo Fox, but that was a tough one. Echo Fox fighting tooth and nail all the way to the bitter end.
And if there's a game where you are going to win, might as well be that one. That is, like I said, it's a huge momentum killer if you lose that game. For Echo Fox, they already had a game. They'll play a third. Yes, it's tiring to play such a long game, but they've already started winning. They've been in these situations before. They've won 2-1 already here. TL have had disastrous results. So even though it's not a series win yet, winning that game means so much to Team Liquid because now they come into this third one with renewed confidence, renewed faith in themselves, and we should see a change here. Even if they end up losing the series overall, they can say at least we won this game. Because again, if they lost that one, it just felt like everything would have shattered.
Yeah, it really would have been just absolutely heartbreaking where they've had pretty much every single advantage that you could ask for to end a game. Massive gold leads, 3 Baron buffs, Elder Dragon as well. So they had everything they needed to close the game. They really struggled to do it. They finally did at the very end, but there's so many inflection points in this game throughout an almost 1 hour victory where it could have gone either way. Akaadian diving into the base, getting picked off. Mistakes from TL. ReignOver earlier diving into the base, right? Could have ended many, many times.
Yeah, and again, not the cleanest game, but certainly a win there for TL. So for a deeper dive on that one, we're going to hand it off to Freak and the analysts.